And let's turn now to former Pentagon official Michael Maloof for more on this ongoing issue. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Pleasure.
So based on what we just heard from Marina Portnaya, the U.S. claims that this was an Iranian-made missile. In your opinion, was Iran really involved in this latest missile attack on Saudi?
Well, it's actually the Burkhan H-2, which is actually indigenously made. There might have been some components, but the Houthis have a capability, internal capability to make their own. Also, they have access to stockpiles of Scuds, which were there from the previous regime. So their missile capability is quite significant. And this isn't the first time that they have fired missiles. I mean, they fired a missile allegedly at a U.S. warship a few months ago. And they have fired others into Saudi Arabia. So it looks more like it was indigenously made, and the Houthis have admitted that this was their missile. It's also called the Volcano H-2, and that is indigenous.
Now, I want to switch gears a little bit here because on the subject of Saudi Arabia, and it seems like all this tension with the other surrounding countries in the Gulf region around Saudi Arabia, it's coming to a head. That's because the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman wants to topple Hezbollah, I guess, in Lebanon then. Can you talk more about why he wants to do that and what the ramifications could be?
Well, he's expressed very aggressive behavior toward Iran from the very start, and his notion is to go after Iran in a different way, and that is to go after its proxies, namely Hezbollah, Hamas. He's tried to enlist the help of Palestinian Authority leader Mahmoud Abbas to actually try to bring cause the Palestinians in the Palestinian camps. There's 12 of them in Lebanon to rise up against Hezbollah. It's just not going to happen. But again, this looks like it's part of a coordinated effort with the United States and with Israel and Saudi Arabia.
I was just going to ask you that.
With a common enemy being Iran.
I was just going to ask you that.
Well, the whole idea is to isolate
Washington is somehow
Iran.
Involved.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you see their involvement?
Well, Jared Kushner has been making the rounds. He was visiting with Mohammed bin Salman. He also visited with Mahmoud Abbas. He also visited with the others with Israel, with Netanyahu. They're all very close. And he also visited UAE. So they're all involved in this effort to go after Iran. And the whole idea, again, is to isolate Iran's influence in the Middle East. And Washington is basically behind it.
And keep them out of the GCC, basically, out of that region.
Yeah, well, that is all Arab. And but keep them out of the GCC countries, yes.
Yes, out of the GCC.
But their influence goes back 2,000 years, so it's very difficult.
And you have,
I mean, when you talk about Bahrain, for example, the majority of the population there is Shia, and of course, Iran is Shia.
And now, given this ongoing problem with Yemen, the humanitarian crisis happening there, Saudi Arabia is now lobbing threats at Lebanon, accusing them of starting a war. What do you think this ultimately signifies for the region?
Well, it's people that I've talked to just as of yesterday are very concerned. People are, Saudi Arabia, for example, has called back its citizens from Lebanon, and people on the streets in Beirut, I'm told, are not walking around. They're very concerned that there could be an outbreak of violence at almost any time. So this thing is festering, and it's coming to a boil much quicker than people really realize, and this thing could explode. And it would have been helpful if Putin and Trump could have discussed this kind of thing
while they were
in Vietnam, yes.
And now, you've mentioned before that you believe Israel has a hand in this as well. Draw the connection.
Well, the connection is that Saudi Arabia and Israel have been working quietly against a common foe, and that is Iran. Their interests coincide here, and you have a number of the other GCC countries which are sort of going along with accepting Israel as part of all of this. And so Israel's basically part of the effort now to try and to isolate. They would be the first ones to go to take advantage of any implosion within Lebanon to go after Hezbollah. The whole idea is to topple Hezbollah. And again, if that were to happen, all the Shias throughout the Middle East and Central Asia would just descend upon Israel.
This sounds like one of those, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's going on. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. As always, Michael Maloof.